You guys, I have to share something with you that I have honestly fallen in love with. This year, through my blog, I was given the opportunity to try Bellamy's Aqua Lumiere. I have the hydrating serum, the hydrating cleanser, and the facial hydrating lotion, and I love every single piece. I suffer from super dry, textured skin, and it has oftentimes looked lifeless and dull. But since I've been using Bellamy twice a day for the past 3 to 4 months, I have become obsessed. My skin is firmer, my skin tone is even, it's bright and clear and soft, and it's amazing. If you haven't tried Bellamy's Clean Beauty, try it. People are raving about this product. You can try it today at bellamy.com/Emmadon.
Oh my goodness, you guys. Welcome back.
Welcome back
to another episode.
Hell yeah.
Of the Mommy Wines podcast.
Oh yeah.
I'm your co-host.
My beautiful co-host.
Emma.
Yeah, you are.
And I'm here with Tara Chapman.
Yeah, you are.
My other co-host, the Mommy Wines duo here.
Yours truly.
And we just recorded our first ever Nap Times episode.
Our nap time episode.
We did it live on Instagram, but it'll hopefully not be taken down.
I'm hoping that there's a way that we can save those into our highlights. So if you guys missed the lives, so I think I think we should do the nap times live all the time. So they're only going to be like 12 to 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, like 12 to 18.
Something like that.
To 20.
Super short.
Like a little smidgen.
Yeah.
Very condensed version of
what you
mommy tips.
Yes. And like super focused. Like
very focused.
When we do these,
no
we
squirreling.
The squirreling is real as fuck when we do these.
It's a real deal.
It's bad, but it's good.
Yeah, so no squirreling. Nap times are super laser focused.
Very focused.
On tips and tricks and life hacks and mommy goodness.
Yeah. And if you don't know us and you don't get to see us live and in person in our real lives,
you're lucky.
No.
Kidding.
You are so sad and missing out on the amazingness. So I think we should do them live. It was live on our Insta feed.
That was my first live. And it was like ripping a Band-Aid off. And, it wasn't that bad.
It's not that bad.
I could do it again.
It's not that bad. I kind of am super comfortable in like situations like that. So, and I've done lives before. For a variety of different things, so I don't really, they don't bother me. So I'm totally down to do more.
Yeah.
Be real AF all up in this biz.
Real AF.
Yes.
Like the coffee. So one thing I really want to just hurry up, get it said and done, because it is something that is going to eat me away this entire podcast if I don't say it.
Say it.
Tara just shared with me the most amazing coffee company.
Yes.
And it's local.
Local.
Right here. Small business. So if
coming at you
like supporting small businesses and you love local entrepreneurs, we have a coffee company that is coming to you from not only Utah, but Utah County.
Yeah, it is.
And what was it called again?
Real AF Coffee.
Real AF Coffee. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that link forever
until the end of time,
in the description box of this episode.
Yes.
And I used to be a Folgers coffee house girl. That was my favorite coffee. But now, only going to be drinking that coffee from now on.
It's going to be amazing. Soon to be some of my favorite people. They don't know that yet.
We're all going to be best friends.
We're going to be best friends.
I'm going to manifest that.
Yes.
Into the universe.
Yes. And so I've got a bag of coffee at the house. So the next time we record, I'll grind up some beans. I'll bring it over. We'll brew up a pot and we'll talk about the coffee. So we'll do a coffee review instead of a wine review on the next recording.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Moms like wine and coffee.
Yes.
I love that idea.
And until the two can coexist in one beverage, gotta have both.
I know. Coffee in the morning, wine at night.
Yes. Till noon at least.
Yeah, it was
11:30 if you're desperate.
Yeah.
Like I've
That's
been the
okay.
last couple days.
Well, you have a sick kid at home.
I have a sick kid.
Nobody is judging you here.
I've got a sick kid. I started my Saturday with some coffee and Baileys, which immediately right around the 11:45 mark
So did Mike's
turned
sister.
into wine. Yes, that's the only way I'm kind of managing through this, but
It's okay.
it's all right. It's all good.
It is one of the most stressful things is to have a sick kid. And I have a toddler, so it's like I don't always know what he needs.
Right.
You have, like, Corbin's 4. He can talk to you. He can tell you what he wants.
Always.
But I'm sure it's, like, on a whole other level.
It's on a whole other level. And let me tell you guys, so my mission in raising boys, soon to be men, is I am doing everything in my power to not perpetuate the fucking man cold.
Oh,
So
I was going to ask you if that's how Corbin was.
Everything in my power to be like, you're fine. You got a runny nose? You're fine. Get up, do the things, move on with your life. I'm not going to let you sit here and wallow in your like sorrow because you've got a damn snotty face. Like, I'm not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
You know the saying, like, cowboy up?
Yes.
Dust it off. Cowboy up.
Suck it up, buttercup.
It should literally be cowgirl up.
It
because
sure should.
I cannot tell you how many times in my life so far, maybe even just as a kid, high school even, like, where I had to just suck it up.
Suck it up.
And work through it. If I had cramps.
Oh my God.
If,
yes.
I did things. I, had things that I had to do. And I never, like, made up the excuses.
No.
Like a grown man can.
Right. It's mind-blowing.
I don't understand how they don't, first of all, get fired from every job they've ever had. Because one little sneeze and a man is down for the count.
Down, dead. They are on their deathbed. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to them.
Close the curtains, don't bother me, I sneezed this morning.
Basically. So it's my mission as a boy mom to raise my boys to not fall into the man cold trap. Like,
Absolutely.
That is my mission.
Luckily, Milo, I can never even tell what he needs. I can never tell if he's even sick or not because he'll cough and he'll be like, oh, owie. And then he'll just go monster somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that's kind of how Xavier is.
Sick?
Yeah, that's kind of how Xavier is. So run with that. Embrace it and run with it. And just be like, okay, cool. The downside is, though, like, that can kind of backfire sometimes. So when Xavier was little, I kind of did the same thing. And then he, like, progressively kind of got worse and worse. And he woke up one morning and, like, his eyes were all goopy, like, gooped shut. And I'm like, that seems not right. So I took him to the doctor. And the doctor looked in his ears. And he was like, well, his right ear on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst ear infection I've ever seen, it's a 9. And then so he swings around to the other ear. And he goes, and his left is an 8.
Wow.
And I immediately had just the biggest load of mom guilt that I could have ever even imagined.
Dude, we need to do a whole episode on mom guilt. It's a real deal.
We really do.
It will wreck your freaking life. I was going to say day or week, but no, it'll wreck your freaking life.
Yeah. So of course I felt like shit. I felt like the worst mom on the planet. But I was like, I didn't know because he didn't complain about it. He didn't pull on his ears. He wasn't running a fever. Like, he wasn't making a big deal out of it. So I had no indication, like, how sick he was. So, I mean, right. It's a fine line that you have to walk between not perpetuating the man cold, but then also making sure that they're not, like, dying and you don't know. Right?
If you're literally dying, yes, please let me know.
Please tell me.
But don't come up to me every 2 seconds and tell me you're dying.
Please don't.
See, I have gotten into the habit of just checking Milo's temperature every single day.
Oh.
He wakes up, I change his diaper, I take his temperature.
Yeah.
And...
because that's probably, like, the only signal that you would have that he might be sick. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Until all of those words start just, like, coming out.
He's still not really talking.
He's coming along, though.
He's coming along very slowly.
all
But-
at his own pace.
But
He's just soaking it all up and
everybody's-
processing it. And then one
he
day
understands.
he's going to open his mouth and like all of the words are just going to fall out.
That's happened to a lot of different people. I've heard.
Yeah.
Because there was a couple times I've posted on my Instagram story saying about how he's not talking yet or something, or people have seen him jibber jabbering on my Instagram story and they'll be like, "Why isn't he talking?"
Right.
So some people will send like
thoughtful,
rudely thoughtful criticism to me as a mother, and then
it's like
other
the backhanded
times
criticism or backhanded
people will be
compliments.
like, "Oh, my kid was the same," and then now he's like a spelling bee champion.
Right.
And I'm like, where does that, like, because everything so far with Milo is nothing has been gradual. Everything has been a freaking light switch.
Right.
Oh, he doesn't have any teeth? Why does all of his friends in Elko, when I live there, have teeth and he doesn't have teeth? We wake up like 2 days later and he has 4 teeth coming in.
Yes. So
Or
talking might be the same way.
he didn't want to walk. All of his friends were walking and he was the only one that wasn't walking. And then one day he just got up and ran down the hallway.
Yes.
And it's like, it's like it's so, it so sucks for me because I've been sharing, Milo went with his dad for the second time.
Right.
And I'm like, he's so like a light switch.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to miss anything.
Right. Right. But your first time will be your first time. Whether it is the official first time or not, it'll be your first time hearing the words or hearing all of the words. Right? True. Whether it's yours or his, it's still yours.
That's true.
Right?
So, now, do you think we should just get into should we mommy whine about our weeks?
Yes, please, let's.
I thought about this like a couple days ago.
I love it.
And I was like, let's whine about our week.
Yes.
Let's get into our peaks and our pits.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
No, why don't you go ahead and go first? Because you're already kind of on subject anyways, right?
So, my pit this week, I do have a peak, and I'm going to save it.
Okay, good.
But my pit was, I don't know what is going on when, obviously, Milo is at his dad's.
Right.
He came home with a blistered red butt.
Yeah.
And he was, like, rubbing his butt the whole time. His dad dropped him off. He didn't want me to pick him up to take him upstairs. He didn't want me to touch him. He kept his coat on for, like, an hour. He didn't want to remove any of his clothes.
So just super odd behavior.
Very, very odd.
Yeah.
Because Milo and I both, when we walk in the door, we take our coats off and we take our pants off.
Right.
And then we just hang out on the couch or we play with toys.
Yeah.
My household is typically a no pants household.
Yeah, I like it.
It's not a rule, but that's just, we come home, we're in our private space, we get comfortable.
We get comfy.
He didn't even want to take his coat off. He wanted to walk up all 3 flights of stairs up to my apartment here and like by himself. He didn't want to hold my hand.
Right.
It was very odd. And then we were walking in the house and he's rubbing his butt. I'm like, do you need a new diaper? And he's like, no. And he's like, there's an owie in my butt.
Yeah.
And he just kept saying it over and over and over.
Owie.
And he was like, he says like little things. I don't want to say he doesn't talk, and he's been better. But he kept saying there's an owie in his butt. There's an owie in his butt. And I'm like, why? So I feed him. He didn't want me taking any of his clothes off. He didn't want me to look at it. Didn't want me to change his diaper.
Yeah.
So I get him ready to go in his bath.
Yeah.
And I take some of his toys and I put him in his bathtub and I get him ready. And his butt is red and blistered.
Ugh.
Like his butt cheeks.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like diaper rash. I think his dad has always spanked him since he was like 4 and 6 months old. He's smacked him.
So unnecessary, but
very unnecessary. He's a very pro physical discipline, and I think if it gets to a point, spanking is okay. Obviously, don't hit your kid, but like
getting
if
their
you
attention.
are old enough and you're out of hand, you need like that slap back to reality.
Exactly.
But I'm still very borderline on if Milo is even old enough now at 2.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And Milo does very well with timeouts. That gives him time to cool down, relax, collect himself, and then
Right.
go back to what he's doing.
Right.
Um,
And that's so great that you know that too, because then you have that tool in your toolbox as a mom.
yeah.
So you don't have to resort to like losing your patience and, popping him one on his ass.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
Just
mean?
exploding is
right.
not like
You
my first go-to. Yeah.
You could be like, hey, dude, like you need a break. Go to timeout because mama also needs a break because you're driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I love that you have that in your toolbox.
But yeah, like his dad's first instinct has always been physical discipline.
Right.
And it's weird because Milo, they've never been close because Michael didn't really want anything to do with him when he was a baby.
Right.
It was like pulling teeth for me to get him to hold him or play with him or like feed him or anything. And then we moved out when he was about 5 months old. And then he kind of came over sporadically every once in a while.
Yeah.
But like never consistent. But yeah, like even as a baby, his first resort has always been just to like smack him. Like even if he was trying to like give him a bottle and he wouldn't take it, he would just smack him in the face.
Right. Not okay.
And I'm just like, ugh.
So not okay.
So I reached out to my lawyer in like a panic.
Of course.
And I gave Milo, like my first instinct was to care for Milo.
Of course. Absolutely.
And because it was on a Sunday, nobody was going to answer me anyway. So like I took care of Milo Sunday night, reached out to my lawyer first thing in the morning. I gave Milo like an Epsom salt bath and I put some coconut oil like in his running bath water to like kind of soothe any redness and inflammation, which by the way, there you go. Tip.
Mom hack.
Coconut oil the shit out of your life.
Yes.
And then once he was kind of, taken care of everything, I got him finally wound down. It was at like 10:30.
Such a long day.
And so the commissioner who did our custody arrangement said that there had to be a pickup and drop off time that were consistent with each other.
Yes.
And since Milo's a baby, I don't know why she didn't just adjust it, but she went with a school hour pickup and drop off. So 7 and 7. Well, Michael picks the baby up on Fridays at daycare. So he's getting extra time. So I'm like, if you're going to pick him up at daycare at 5, or whenever you pick him up on a Friday, you need to drop him off earlier than 7 because I could not get my kid into bed until 10:30. And that's not okay because I have to go to work on Monday.
Yeah.
And so he, of course, fought me on that.
Right.
And, I did, though, go and look at some cars. I found a bank.
That's so great.
And I found a dealership that has a bunch of things that I like. And I went and test drove some.
Yay! That's great.
Yeah. Because, so we got into this big fight about how he's not taking care of Milo properly and how he needs to adjust his drop-off time to match his pickup time, which he didn't think was fair, of course.
Of course.
And then, he continued to, he's no longer communicating with me.
Oh,
he's
Lord.
not giving me my car back. Whatever.
Keep it.
Yeah, I'm just, moving on from that whole situation.
Good. Yes.
It was my pit this week. And it just, it drives me so crazy because, I know Milo's not being taken care of properly, but I have no standing. I have nothing that I can do. I can just keep documenting the neglect and the abuse.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
And then until so much of it happens to the point where this court system is like, oh, well, that's not cool.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, no more beating or possibly, I don't even want to get into what I originally thought it was.
No, I don't even want to talk about where my mind went.
Your infant child.
Right.
Then, I feel so hopeless.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard. It's so hard. And it's interesting because it reminded me of the first time that Xavier went to his dad's house for the weekend. It was his very first weekend to go. And we talked about this in our very first episode together. And I didn't get into the detail of it because you hadn't like been there yet. And so I didn't want to like traumatize you or scare you off from like
now I'm in
what the crazy could be. But you know, basically in like a super like Reader's Digest version, the very first weekend that Xavier went to his dad at the time worked graveyard shifts. And so he went into work at 11 and he got off at 7 in the morning. And the very first weekend that he went, I knew that he was going to be working at Friday night and Saturday night. And I think he was going to have him, I think it was a Friday night. And so he picked him up from where he needed to be picked up from. And my very best friend was like, I'll come over and be with you. Because this is the first time I had ever been away from him in that capacity.
Yeah.
Right? Like we had been away from him for a night or two, like, you know, just like an overnight at Grandma and Grandpa's or something like that. But in this capacity, this was the first time I'd ever been away from him. And so she came over, she brought Thai food and she brought wine and she spent the night with me and we hung out. And the entire night I kept telling her, I was like, he's going to go to work tonight.
I don't even understand why a dad would fight for time when you're not going to spend that time.
When you're not going to spend the time.
Just let them be with their mother.
Because it's a narcissistic control more than anything.
Yeah.
So if I don't have time with him, then he wins. I lose. So anyways, so she's like, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. And I was like, no, I know it. Like I know in the core of who I am and in everything that I believe in, he is going to go to work tonight. So he had moved in with a buddy. His buddy and his girlfriend lived in the house with his son. Xavier and his dad were they had two rooms down in the basement. So Xavier had a room, his dad had a room. And so Friday night comes and goes. Saturday, you know, she leaves. I spend Saturday night by myself so I could have like all of the time to like wallow in my sorrow and cry in my wine and miss him terribly. And so then the arrangement was that I would pick him up Sunday morning so his dad at the time would go to church. And so I'd meet them at the church. So I walked in and church wasn't over quite yet. So I went and sat in the pew next to Xavier and I looked at Xavier and he was 4. He was 4 years old when his dad and I separated. And I looked in his eyes and I knew something was not right. He had the darkest circles under his eyes. He looked ill almost. And I was like, are you okay? And he was like, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, okay. And I knew he wasn't fine. And so we got in the car and we were on our way home and I asked him again and I said, are you okay? I said, you don't look like you feel well. Are you sick? Are you okay? And he said, no, I'm not sick, Mama. I'm just really tired. And I was like, okay, like, I get that. Like, it's, you know, your first weekend away.
Right.
You know, you might have not slept well, which I didn't sleep well, so I totally get it. And I said, well, tell me, how come you're so tired? And he said, well, you know, Daddy put me to bed and then I woke up and was, you know, afraid. So I went to Daddy's room to sleep with him and he wasn't there.
So he went to work.
That mother went to work.
Was anybody in the house?
His buddy was in the house, but he lived upstairs. And Xavier doesn't know his buddy from Adam.
Right.
So he's not going to go to him for comfort because he doesn't know him.
So he just went to work thinking it was okay because he was asleep.
Because he was asleep.
See, I have had nightmares of like needing to go get medicine or running out of milk, and I would it's like a nightmare to me.
Yeah.
Of like, well, Milo's sleeping, I could go, and then in my dream, or not even a dream, my nightmare, I come back and I'm coming up and I can just hear him screaming for me.
So he told me that he went into his dad's room. He wasn't there, so he got into his bed and cried until his dad got home. So I don't know what time it had to have been after 10:30 p.m. because that's what time he would have left to work to get there by 11.
Right.
So I don't even know how many hours he laid there awake, crying, not knowing where his dad is, and being left alone.
Oh my God.
And when he told me that story, I came unhinged. Like, I was never one to swear at or yell at or confront my ex-husband because of his like really narcissistic controlling behavior. It wasn't a way that I could communicate with him and get through to him.
Right.
So I learned very quickly to like not have emotions. I had to come to like him with facts and evidence and reasonable conversation, and swearing was an unproductive way of communicating with him, so I could never express myself that way. I called up this mother effer and I lost my mind.
Oh,
I came unhinged.
I would have just straight up just killed him.
I came unhinged. I lost it. I was sobbing, I was screaming, I was swearing, and I text my very best friend.
Did he laugh at you?
He didn't laugh at me.
That's something Michael would do. He would just laugh at me.
He didn't laugh, but he told me that I was being unreasonable and unfair in expecting him to give up his parenting time on his parenting time just because he had to work. And I was like, that doesn't even make sense.
To work though and doesn't have like a babysitter,
right?
Or
right,
like, why wouldn't, like, he has parents in Portland, right?
No.
Like, you would have to get like how is that not a thing he would even think of?
But my buddy was there. He should have known. And I was like, this is his first weekend ever where we are separated. This is his first weekend ever living in that house. This is his first time ever being away from his mom in this capacity. This is his first time ever being the kid of divorce.
Yeah.
Why would you think that he would rationalize at 4 years old to go
talk to a stranger
and find someone that he doesn't know to tell him that he's scared and to find out where his dad is and to get the reasonable answer? He's not going to do that.
See, kids are not reasonable. That's why they have parents.
That's why they have parents. So I, like, when you had this experience with Milo coming home, like, it was everything in my body to not, like, physically and emotionally and mentally flash back to that weekend. Because it was, like, the worst.
I think I texted you, like, as soon as he came home.
Immediately.
And I'm like, there's something wrong with my kid.
Oh, yeah. I think we, like, and I was like, can you post it? Like, let me know what's going on. I was checking in with you. And
it was the worst.
Just because I know, it's terrible. So, anyways, not to derail you.
Because I have two. I have the Freddie monitor and I have the Moby monitor. And both of those are Wi-Fi app situated monitors.
Yeah.
And his dad is refusing to, even though the commissioner ordered it, refusing to do parent classes, and he's refusing a child monitor.
He's just ridiculous.
And I think he's so narcissistic on a whole new level. I don't think it would matter if, like, maybe I learned to communicate with that kind of person. But, like, I literally told him, I was like, I don't know what you did to Milo, but I have to document this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm reaching out to my lawyer, and he fucking laughed at me.
Yep.
And
let him laugh and document the shit out of that.
He thinks it's so funny. He thinks that every time I get worked up or every time that, like, I say that, like, I'm not comfortable.
Right.
Because it's so hard for me, despite the fact that, like, I don't have awarded parents, like, my parents are who they are. So it should be easier for me to wrap my head around it. But I cannot even fathom me having to go through this situation where I have to physically, like, do everything that I possibly can do to protect my child.
Yeah.
But I'm protecting them from people that are supposed to love him.
Yes.
From people who are, like, supposed to
care for him and protect him.
Yeah, and protect him. And it's like the people who are hurting him are the people who are supposed to protect him. And it's like my brain, like, it just doesn't even fathom.
No.
Mike thinks this podcast is, like, such a good release for me. And people reach out and they're like, we're going through the same thing.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from or whatever. So it's cool in that sense, but it's like, I don't even know where to begin.
No.
First of all, I just feel like my son shouldn't even be put in this situation.
No, never. Of course not.
Because when I reached out to my lawyer, the paralegal got back to me, and she said that there has to be multiple occurrences of neglect or abuse before a courthouse will grant a child protection order.
Right.
And it's crazy because we've had restraining orders in the past due to his violent and irrational behavior. So it's like Utah is trying to become more fair to men as parents, but they're not doing it to people who are good parents.
Right. You can't do it to a fault, right?
Like you go ahead and support men as parents, and
please.
The ones who deserve it, though.
Yes.
There's men out there who deserve to be parents. They deserve to have full custody. They deserve to have everything that they want. If it's a parent who's fighting for the protection of a child. But not every father is doing that.
Right.
And you can't judge a situation because you think, oh, it's 2019. Fathers are becoming better.
Right.
We need to give them more rights. You can't do that when it's a father who doesn't deserve it.
Right.
And it's
and the
so
only
frustrating.
The only thing that you can do is document every single second of it. And it's exhausting and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it is something that I wish I had done sooner. But because I was of our circle of friends, I was the first one to go through a divorce with a child.
Yeah.
With a custody situation. So I learned far too late that I should be documenting everything. So I encourage you with every shred of who I am to take that effort and to document every single thing.
Oh, I have a planner, a small planner, and it's just full of Post-it notes.
Yep. Date, time, what happened. And keeping to the facts. I mean, it's easy for us as moms, to put a lot of emotional story on top of it, but just keeping it to the facts, it'll benefit you in the long run if and when you need to use it.
On a happier note,
yes, let's do that.
I have decided to really focus on myself this year.
Yes.
I have taken every ounce of my being and shoved it into my kid for 2 years now.
Yep.
Or since he was born, probably, or even before that, really.
Oh, seriously. For sure.
It's been a while. I have not focused on me. I've put my needs and things that, for myself that I could do. That's all gone on the back burner.
I think that's just so natural and normal. And again, we could roll that into a whole mom guilt episode, which I think we need to do next. But it's just so natural to your needs, your self-care, your wants get put on the back burner for kids, for husband, for career. It happens.
This week, first, since I've moved from Nevada, my insurance did not carry over because Utah is very difficult to privately insure.
Interesting.
It has a lot to do with the culture here.
I'm sure.
Like everything else. But I signed up for healthcare coverage.
Awesome.
So I'm now insured.
Yes.
But adulting. Also, I know, I did so much adulting this week, you guys. You literally have no idea. So I got healthcare coverage, which I've just been putting off and putting off and putting off. And I wrote an entire blog post about it on my blog.
Awesome.
You can go check that out. And then I also signed up for Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
I am so madly in love with this gym.
Good.
You have no idea.
I'm so pumped for you.
So it's super affordable. It's one of the most affordable gym packages I've ever had.
Good.
I'm a Black Card member for $21, which gets me...
That sounds fancy.
I know, right?
I want to be a Black Card member somewhere.
I wish it was through American Express, but it's not.
Right?
It's just through my gym. But I can bring anybody I want, anytime. Like, me and you could go and work out for free.
Yeah, hell
like,
yeah.
we could go do, like, a class or something together. Mike has been, like, planning on coming with me.
Cool.
And then it opens up to, like, hydro massage chairs, which I've been sharing all over my Instagram
I
story.
saw that, and I'm so
the
jelly.
Mommy Wines podcast
I
one.
know.
So, after, and, like, I have gone every single day since I signed up.
I'm so pumped for you.
I'm doing Monday through Friday.
Yes.
Because that's when I have
time
and childcare and everything else.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm going Monday through Friday. I've been doing like the infrared treatments, which is, and they have like this vibration booth thing, massage chairs, hydro massage, on top of obviously all of the like fitness equipment.
Right.
Classes. So like,
I love classes.
So the classes that I've been focusing on are like Monday and Friday. And I do 2 classes. I do a core each day.
Yeah.
One is a leg and something day. And then the other one is chest and arms.
Awesome.
So it has been so fun. Everyone there is super friendly. And like, it's my favorite color. Like the whole gym is like purple.
That's awesome.
And there's no creepy like gorilla-like dudes in there. Like, they don't do any powerlifting. You can't be slamming weights around because they have, like, a slam-o-meter or something it's called.
That's hilarious.
So, like, if you consistently, like, slam weights.
Yeah.
Because, like,
you're out of there.
Like, you're out. Like, they'll kick you out.
Nice.
That's
awesome.
It's, like, super clean. So, a lot of you are probably saying, why are you getting a gym membership when you have a gym at your apartment? But my apartment's gym is so gross, and it's so small, and it doesn't have, like when I go to the gym, I'm like, okay, I just drove, well, it's like 1.4 miles from my house.
Right,
but,
right.
I drove all the way here. I put the effort in. I'm going to make the most out of my time, and I have been.
That's so great.
And this week, I have been so focused on, like, not only, like, working out and taking care of myself, eating healthy.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I went to the market, and I picked up all kinds of, like, good foods. Obviously, there was some stuff in there because I have a toddler and he only eats, like, macaroni and cheese and vegetable pouches. You should have seen
my Sam's Club grocery cart today, girl.
But,
don't even.
Like, I came home and I, like, threw all the bad stuff away.
Yeah.
And, like, now instead of potato chips, we have pita chips.
Yes.
And instead of, like, dipping them in, like, chip dip or, like, French onion dip, we're dipping them in hummus. And it's, like, changing my life right now.
Good. I'm so pumped. That's so great.
I know.
I'm so happy for you.
I love it so much.
Good.
If you want a gym, seriously, and I can go to any gym in the entire, like,
yeah,
nation.
because you're the Black Card member.
I know.
What?
Next we'll be hitting up a PJ.
Shit.
Just kidding.
I don't know what that is. But...
It's a private jet.
Oh.
We're not there yet.
Old and uncultured in the lingo.
When $22 can get me a black card, I'm not there yet.
That's awesome.
But yeah, if you guys have been looking for a gym or wanting to hop on this fitness and healthier living lifestyle with me, I'm like hardcore making changes.
I love it. I love everything about it.
I'm going to write a little blog post about the things that I have been doing to help me because I have been making very subtle changes.
Those are the ones that stick out.
Yeah. And I've been doing like one subtle change a week.
Good.
So it's like replacing our potato chips.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for Pringles salt and vinegar. I will eat
anything salt and vinegar.
Pringle. Yeah. I will eat salt and vinegar chips all day long. But it's like I will eat like an entire thing of Pringle salt and vinegar chips.
Oh yeah.
In like one sitting. It's bad. It's
easily.
Bad. So like this week I'm like, okay, like we're not doing any potato chips. Like we're doing pita chips or
veggies.
Like veggie straw things. So it's like little changes like that is what I've been making. So I'm actually going to be documenting like over the next couple weeks, like the more changes I make, and I'm going to be putting them all together in a little blog post.
Awesome.
If you guys want to check it out, feel free.
Yeah. So cool. I'm so pumped for you. That's exciting.
I know. And I am not weighing myself. That's one of the things that I'm not doing.
Good for you.
Even though I have that super fancy scale that tells me everything except my body weight.
Right.
But No, it tells me my weight too. So if you guys do want to scale or you're counting macros or whatever,
Yeah.
I definitely recommend it. I just think for my own personal mental health, just
Yep.
because there's so many
Yep.
other
There's like
mentally draining things going on, I just can't handle that.
What's
right
the
now.
acronym for it? It's non-scale wins. So NSWs. So non-scale wins are things like, a pair of pants that didn't fit a month ago now fit. Or, I went to the store to buy a new shirt and instead of grabbing an extra large, I bought a large or whatever, right? Like those are non-scale victories. That's the other word that I was looking for. Those are super important too, right? Because a number is just a number and that number is going to change for a variety of reasons, right? Like you've started your period, it's going to be more.
That's me today, girls.
Right, yeah.
Or other listeners.
Or whoever you are. You're welcome. But those are so much more important than just whatever that number is. I mean, that number is one piece of the story.
It is.
Right?
And I have like work pants that obviously when I was walking around all the time and going to work or whatever, they fit me differently. And then when I stopped and I started working from home more, I sat around more, I wasn't as active, whatever. And then, but like this week, those have been fitting.
It's amazing how just like those few little changes can add up to bigger victories.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so good for you.
I know, thanks.
Yay.
Living healthy.
Hashtag 2019 goals.
Hashtag resolutions.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag fit mom life.
As we drink our third glass of wine.
Is it really third, though? Is it? More? Okay. So, what are your peaks and your pits?
So my pit, which I'm sure anybody who's been listening for a while is probably like, oh yeah, we know what she's going to say. Work was insane this week.
Your job just makes me want to like hide in my blankets.
I mean, I love my job. I love the people I work with. I love so much about it. The company is amazing. The people are amazing. I've met some amazing, amazing, life-changing people there. But
everyone you talk about who works with you sounds like the dopest person ever.
Well, yeah, because your vibe attracts your tribe.
You guys got a good tribe going on.
We really do. We really do. It's pretty good.
Okay, go on.
So anyways, so work was crazy. So we had this summit this week and I had to basically be in this summit of these brilliant, amazing, beautiful, awesome nerd brains like all week. And at the end of every single day, which most of them went until like 6:30 or 7 o'clock at night, my eyeballs were like leaking out of my head because I couldn't even like process some of the amazing nerd stuff that they were talking about. But it was all really good, right? It was really, really good. But a funny side story to that. So I was chatting with one of the girls at work and she said, I've noticed you down there. Like, what are you doing? And I looked at her. I was like, nothing. She's like, no, seriously, like, what are you doing down there? Like, why do you have to be in all of those sessions? And I said, well, I don't have to be in all of the sessions, but I think it's important that I have a presence as the project manager and I work with all of these guys and, I need to be able to like have rapport with them. So I'm in them for that reason. And she's like, so what are you doing? And
why are you here with us?
Why are you here? And so I looked at her and I was like, apparently I'm the eye candy for the week because I don't know why else I'm there. And of course she fell apart, like dying laughing. And so then on Friday, we were talking about like priorities and who's going to do what and starting to really get into the nitty gritty, which is where my job kind of steps in.
Right.
And my boss's boss was up at the front and he said, is anybody documenting this? Is anyone catching this list? And the guy sitting next to me was like, yeah, Tara's getting it. And I looked up at him and I said, yeah, because I'm more than just the eye candy this week. And he fell apart. He turned bright red. the guy next to me was like, oh no, you didn't just say that. And like the whole room just kind of fell apart. So
That's funny.
I absolutely took opportunity to give him shit because that's my personality, regardless of the fact that he's like our chief technology officer.
What does that even mean?
He is like
Fake news.
7 pay grades above me. It's fine. I just called him out on basically like the fact that I was the only female in that room for the entire week.
Oh, well, there you go.
Right.
Take it when you can.
Right. So, as stressful as that was, and as long of a week as it was, there was some good stuff that happened. But my peak of the week was the Hubs and I had a date night last night. And we haven't had a date night in forever.
I saw all over your Instagram story.
Forever. So we, of course, got Xavier to watch his little brother, with his $10 that we offered to pay him. It's cheap labor.
I'm reporting you.
So we did that. We went to sushi, and it was fucking delicious. And I was so happy.
It sounds so gross.
It's so good.
I'm not a sushi. I'm not a sushi person.
It's so good.
When you can't even say it, you don't need to be putting it in your mouth. If it can't come out, it doesn't go in.
That's what she said.
Where's Lindsay?
So we went to sushi, and then we had purchased the Outlaw Distillery tour. So we did that last night, and it was fantastic.
I love your t-shirt.
I got my swag on. I'm rocking my Outlaw Distillery t-shirt today. But it was super great. We were the last tour of the day. It was Joe and I and another couple, and we learned all about like the distillation process, and it's like some amazing, awesome nerd chemistry stuff that I had no idea that you needed to like even consider. I mean, the quality of the molasses to make the rum was like mind blowing. I was like, what?
Yeah, you can't just buy regular molasses. He goes like for
fancy,
literally like the Aston Martin of
the Tesla,
the Tesla
of molasses.
Yeah, no joke.
And it's called fancy molasses.
Literally is what it's called. Fancy.
So of course, I was happy to hear that. But we did that, and then we got to taste everything, which I think I had tasted everything anyways, just because they hooked us up through your blog.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it was so fantastic. So we walked out of there with 2 bottles of whiskey.
Did you try the white?
Yes, we did. Which is fine. It's good. I actually prefer the moonshine over the whiskey.
Which is like. It's not as hardcore as you guys might think. It's very
not moonshiny like you would think moonshiny would be.
Yeah, you're not getting it out of like a bathtub in the middle of the woods in Kentucky. like this is legitimate, proper, very high quality,
delicious
moonshine.
It's really, really good.
And he said that his wife puts it in everything.
Oh yeah, in everything. I could drink it straight.
If your husband makes it for a living, then why not?
Why not?
No one's
we
judging
got 2 bottles of whiskey, the bourbon whiskey. We got a bottle of moonshine and then a bottle of the coffee rum, because that's how I get through my weekends is with the coffee rum. But I'm taking a bottle of whiskey to work with me. So anybody who at work is listening needs to hit up my desk drawer for a glass of whiskey. I'm going to have some Outlaw Distillery whiskey at work.
Oh my God. Okay. So I have always wanted to be like that person that had like a fancy office with like awards on the wall. And I'm going to dive more into this. I have nowhere to put my foot every single week. I'm going to dive more into this in like my solo podcast that's coming soon. But I've never really known exactly what I wanted to do, but I've always known that I wanted to be like that person that had a really fancy office with like awards on the wall, paintings that I picked up in Europe and all of this stuff. But I also wanted like a bar cart, or like if it was big enough, or like to have like nice bottles of wine or something in my desk drawer and drink at work.
Yes.
I always thought like you made it in life when you have a job where you can have a bottle of scotch in your desk and not get fired.
And not get fired. So I'm manifesting your vision of that by just bringing that bottle of whiskey with me.
You know, yeah, manifest.
I'm bringing it.
2019, y'all, is like all about manifestation.
I'm doing it. I'm bringing that whiskey. I'm locking it up in my little cube drawer, manifesting the shit out of taking my boss's job. I mean, I love him. I do. He's the greatest boss. He's amazing.
Well, maybe he should just find a higher up job.
Right?
Maybe he should move up. Take somebody else's job, and then that person can take another person's job, and it's just like a domino.
Yes, I love it. I'm taking it.
I am focusing so hard. I really, I think we talked about this before, but I had no plans on building an agency. I just wanted to go to work, do my thing, run my deal, come home. But I have a shark on my team who just joined this week.
Oh, I'm so pumped for you.
She is thebomb.com.
Nice.
Lane, if you're listening.
We love you, Lane.
Love her. She is like this MLM champion.
Nice.
She has done so many things. She's like me. She wears all of these different hats. And she used to do finance for another corporate financial institution. And she's like, you know what? I can't go back. I've been home with my kids.
Oh, right.
I can't go back.
Yes.
She's like, please tell me more. So she's going through her required education because we all have to be educated through the state.
Yeah, you do.
However many hours your state mandates. But we have to know our shit before they give us a license to
sell stuff.
To play with people's money.
Right.
You know? So we have to be legitimately educated. And so she's going through that right now. And she's like, this is so easy. I feel like I went through everything when she worked at her old job.
Yeah.
And I was like, girl, yes.
Nice. I'm so pumped for you.
I feel like it was just going to take that one person.
Yep.
And she's going to come visit. So she's going to she's going to be on the podcast. I cannot wait for all of you guys and you, Tara, to meet her because she is she's on fire.
I'm so excited.
Literally going to take over the world. I've been watching way too much Boss Baby on Netflix. And I feel like she is the female version of Boss Baby.
Nice. Power nap.
She's so sweet. She's a powerhouse. I feel like I love empowered women. I'm obsessed.
Right? I love it.
But yeah, she joined my team this week, so I'm just gotta turn my ego. Just fan my ego down before I go back to work on Tuesday because we have a long weekend.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Do you have a long weekend or not?
I don't think we do. And
you might want to check.
I might be knocking on your door on Monday being like, oh, by the way.
Here's my kiddo.
Because I'm so good at being a mom, I had no idea my kid's daycare was closed. Take my kid.
Your job might still, it might not be open. But let me know. Let me know. If you knock on my door, I'll take him.
I'll give you the heads up. I'll give you the heads up if that's
I'll let him pee in my potty.
Okay, good.
You know.
Good. Perfect. He's got pretty good aim, so it shouldn't be a problem.
It's okay.
As long as you have snacks. As long as you've got snacks and YouTube, he'll be happy all day long.
Dude, all I do is snack and YouTube.
Sweet.
Okay.
Match made in heaven. But I want to take just a hot second and talk about some of the super exciting stuff we have coming up for our listeners because we have a lot of cool stuff in the works.
We do.
I am super excited for next weekend for two reasons. One, we're getting professional headshots done, y'all.
We're having a fun little photo shoot.
I'm so excited.
A Mommy Wines podcast photo shoot.
I know. I can't wait. Two, we've got another super special guest next weekend. We're going to one of the local cideries, I guess is if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
And talking to them.
I would call it a cidery.
Right? Because it's not a brewery.
Right.
It's a cidery.
So yeah, Mommy Wines podcast is going on the road.
Yeah, we are. We're taking the show on the road, y'all.
15 miles.
So that's super exciting. Yeah. I cannot wait. I love these special guest interview episodes that we've been doing. They're a lot of fun.
And we only have more coming.
I know.
And we are going to be redoing Erin Bradley's episode here soon.
Yes, I can't wait.
So I know a lot of you guys have been waiting on that. A lot of my fellow Zaya sisters.
Yes.
So yeah, we're going to be sitting down. They're still in Mexico. I think they're leaving tomorrow? Today.
Okay.
I think they're leaving today.
Okay. So soon.
She'll be back soon.
Mamas, New Year's is finally here. 2019 has arrived. And what does that mean? New Year's resolutions. If you have a New Year's resolution to shed some pounds, get that pre-baby body back, start a fitness journey, or enhance the one that you were already on, do that with Zaya Activewear. One of the most motivational ways I can think of, and it helps me stay active in the gym and stay on track, is getting brand new activewear. There's nothing more motivational than showing up to the gym in brand new activewear you feel comfortable and confident in, that you want to flaunt off. I love getting Zaya Active deliveries. If you haven't heard of Zaya Active before, they are a Utah-based, right here in Salt Lake City, active lifestyle brand, and they have the most incredible leggings and so much more. They have a men's line. They just recently launched Zaya Kids, and they have accessories. Try the Uplift if you haven't already. But if you are looking for super high quality premium activewear, Zaya is your place. You can try Zaya at myzaya.com/EmmaDawn.
Yeah, I'm excited about I'm so excited / nervous about our photos.
It's going to be fun.
But we also, with those photos, we might redesign some of our images. So you guys make sure you're subscribed. Stay tuned.
And I'm super excited that we're doing that photo shoot too with one of our fellow mamas.
Yes.
She's amazing. She is
Nomo.
fantastic. Another Nomo
mama.
So stay tuned for that. I'm sure we'll probably have some fun, like behind the scenes shenanigans to share with that. And then we also have our merch.
Yes.
Let's talk about merch really quick.
So our Mountain Mamas merch, I don't know if it's going to make the cut to be relaunched.
Got it.
But Bigger Sips, I am going to be relaunching, and it's always going to be in the description box below.
Yes. And that's probably my fave. I mean, I love the Mountain Mamas, but Bigger Sips is like...
I went over to Mike and Milo went over to Mike's sister's house last night for a family dinner.
Yeah.
His brother was there. His parents were there. Everybody was there, and we had smoked cheeseburgers.
Oh my God, I bet they were so good.
They were so good.
Oh my God.
But his mom was wearing our merch.
Shut up.
Because I got a sweatshirt for his sister and a sweatshirt for his mom, and mine, of course, I'm wearing if you watched our live video. But yeah, she was wearing it.
Oh my God, I love it.
And she's like, I listen every week, and I'm so excited for the things you guys are doing.
Family.
I know, they're so supportive, so cute.
They're so great.
They make really good cheeseburgers.
Well, next time you go, bring me along, because sister loves some cheeseburgers.
I will.
Damn.
Not everything we ate was keto, but you can have a cheat day, right?
Well, I can also just not eat the non-keto things. But cheeseburgers are keto. I had a cheat day yesterday. I had sushi. I had whiskey. And I also bought my family donuts yesterday morning. I stood in line. I stood in a mother effing line. No, I just went to Peterson's.
Oh.
But there was a line. I was like the fourth person in line to buy donuts.
There's a Jack's Donuts, and I don't know if they're nationwide, but they are incredible.
Okay, good to know.
Right here in Daybreak.
So I had a half of a bacon maple bar yesterday.
I love the ones that have the Boston cream in the middle with the chocolate on top.
Yes, that's what my family's obsessed with. So I bought 4 of those, 2 for Xavier, 2 for Joe. Corbin doesn't really eat donuts. He always says he wants them.
Does he eat anything but Oreos and broccoli?
And peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? No, that's about his diet. That is his diet.
The first time I ever met Corbin, when we were recording the Working Moms episode, he was like, Mom, is there any more steamed broccoli? And I'm like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Is this an older version of my kid? Because Milo likes steamed broccoli with macaroni and cheese.
Of course.
And I'm like, oh my God. How weird is it? I didn't think there was another person out there whose kid loved steamed broccoli.
He loves it. He'll literally, I have to make extra because he will eat that much of it.
Every
It's
time
crazy.
I see him, he's eating the
Something.
tiniest Oreos I've ever seen. And steamed broccoli.
And steamed broccoli. I know. He's such a dork.
Very well balanced.
I love him.
Life is all about balance.
It
There's
sure
a little bit
is.
of health, a little bit of treat.
Right? And he is that on lockdown. Let me tell you. This kid.
We also have some special secrets we're going to keep from you guys.
I like secrets.
Secrets.
It's some cool stuff, though. It's kind of along the merch line.
Kind of. Maybe better.
Maybe better. Definitely better.
It's a consumable product.
Yeah, it is. I like secrets. We're keeping this one under wraps because we got to get some details locked down, but it's going to be super exciting. So I cannot wait to share that one with you guys.
So excited.
Yeah.
So definitely subscribe to us. We can now be found on iTunes if you're not listening to us there already.
Hell yeah.
Podcast.com. And we do have a official YouTube channel.
We do. And of course, you can always follow us on Instagram at Mommy Wines Podcast. Also on Facebook at Mommy Wines. At Mommy Wines Podcast.
Well, there you go.
Ew, got it out.
And make sure to go check out all of the links in the description box below.
Please do. There's some good stuff down there.
So good stuff.
Oh my God. The coffee.
Always. Wait. Outlaw, King's Raven.
And now.
Coffee.
And now Real AF Coffee.
Always in the description. Along with our personal social medias.
We love you guys.
And other fun links we love so much.
Yes. Thanks, you guys.
Bye.